In today's video, I'm going to be jumping into some of your most recent asked questions, and there's quite a lot, so let's jump straight in. How do you keep cool in a motorhome during heat waves, especially at night? Isn't it like sleeping in an oven? Well, and that does suit today because it is quite sunny. So I've got two max fans on the roof, one in the toilet, one above the bedroom, one above the bed. So at night, if it is hot, then I can turn the one on just above the bed to just blow in cool air, just a little bit, you know, like on 10%, 20%. Otherwise it does get pretty chilly after an hour or so. I then have got a 240 fan on the wall, which I can then turn on. And then with my AutoTerm diesel heater, I can turn on ventilation, which I've only done last weekend. My diesel heater is in my false floor. So that's really dark, really cool. It's probably one of the coldest places apart from being at the underneath the van. So you can turn it onto ventilation mode. So it's only the fan that works. So it pulls in the cold air from the second floor, the underfloor storage. It pulls that. How much are you hoovering? So you can pull in cold air with your diesel heater. So your diesel heater isn't just for the winter to stay warm or cold night. It can also be for the summer. So my whole system is the max fans can take out the hot air. I can have the windows cracked open and the skylight cracked open. I've got a fan on the wall to blow the air around, and then I've got cold air coming in through the floor, just at floor level, to keep it nice and cold and, you know, keep it all flowing. As long as the air's moving, I think I'll be all right. But yeah, just while we're talking about diesel heaters, and this is a plug for you guys because it's going to save you guys money, me and Tash from Life Beyond Bricks have managed to secure a 10% discount code through show season for AutoTerm and for the Adventure Vanlife website. All the details will be in the description below. If you book in a diesel heater or buy a diesel heater anywhere from now until the end of September, you will get 10% off, and there's also 10% off on the Adventure Vanlife website for orders over £250. And they've got batteries, they've got lithium batteries, they've got solar stoves, they've got Ridge Monkey stuff, they've got aux beam lights, they've got everything over there. So head on over. 10% for show season only. Me and Tash, you know, really twisted their arm, and yeah, we've got you 10% discount code. So the code is Urban Life, so make sure you use the code Urban Life either on the AutoTerms website or on the Adventure Vanlife website, and get yourself 10% discount. Like I say, all details will be in the description below. Make sure you use that because that is an absolute steal. Save yourself some cash. Next question: why are you in England when you could be in Europe? Get on it. Well, I mean, that's a fair question, I suppose. I was away at the beginning of the year. I spent a couple of months in Asia. I was out in Thailand, chilling out, traveling around a little bit, hanging out with my mates. I've done quite a little bit, you know, of that. And this is now the beginning of show season. So I've got lots of shows all booked in. If you want to know the shows that I'm at, then head on over to the website /shows. And there's a QR code maybe up here now. If you scan that, that will show you all the shows that I'm going to be at this year. I've got lots of shows that I'm going to be talking at. So the next ones I'm going to be at is Vanlife Festival. Then I've got the Newark show. Then we've got Van Love. Then we've got Vanlife Celebration. There's so many. Head on over to the website. That is where I'm going to be. But that's why I'm not really, you know, I've got a lot of travel. I've got a lot planned around this area at the moment, which again I'm going to get to you later because I need your help with. But I might go to Europe later in the year when things die down. I might try and get a bit of winter sun then, because this is my busiest time of year in the UK, and I like the UK in the summer. It's nice. Next question: would you ever get a pet? The real easy answer to that is no. No, I wouldn't. My life is too busy, too hectic. I like the freedom. I will fully admit I am, you know, not to my friends and family, but I am quite a selfish person. As in, I think of myself, apart from my friends and family. You know, I'll do anything for them lot. But I want my freedom, and I think it's I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's bad. I'm admitting that. I think it's good to admit that, because you know what you can then play to. You're not fooling yourself. You're not conning yourself. I'd love a dog. I'd love a little bulldog, a little Frenchie, something like that, a little staff. I would absolutely love one. But right now, I can't. I just can't. I mean, like I said earlier, I went to Thailand for 2 months. I can't do that with a dog. I can't just jump on a plane. And when I come back, I then went to Prague for 3 nights. And I like jumping on a plane. I like going to a hotel. I like being able to move here to anywhere. You know, I like my life being fully flexible and able to do what I want. So as much as I'd love a dog, not right now. Not right now. Maybe when I'm not, you know, well into my old age, then and not moving around so much, then maybe then, but not now, no. Too much responsibility, and I don't want responsibility. I'm barely responsible for myself. Next one. Would you ever let people know where you're heading so you can do a meet and greet? I've thought about this before. Now, drop it in the comments below. Would you guys like that? Now, I don't want to organise like a festival or a rally or anything like that. I'll be honest, that's too much work. There's a lot of paperwork involved. There's a lot of, you know, liabilities involved, and insurances and rules and regs, and I can't be dealing with that. But I have thought about, you know, maybe doing a meet up on a campsite. If I put it out there and said, right, I'm going to be at XYZ campsite on this date from Friday till Monday. Anyone wants to come down, hang out, you know, they're more than welcome to. Would any of you be interested in that? Because I would be up for that. I would be up for doing that maybe. Because then it's on a campsite, so they're all fully above board. You just got to book on the campsite. There's no rules or regs that we've got to, you know, abide by apart from the campsite rules, you know. But we can do that. So let me know. I'll gauge your interest. Now, this question doesn't really apply to me, but it was left on one of my videos. But I kind of want to answer it in a way. So the question is, if you buy a 4x4 van and you park off the actual road, how can the police involve themselves, and would this be a civil matter? Now, first and foremost, I have no straight up factual knowledge of that answer. I don't know if that is a civil matter. I don't know if you could do that. But the part I want to answer is, why are you thinking that? This is just, and it sounds like it's just going to antagonise people. And this is where I put in, I say in videos and I say in my book, most problems, most of van life can be dealt with in a very easy way. Don't be a dick. Just don't annoy people. Don't do what you wouldn't want done to you. Don't park in places that you wouldn't think that's right in your area, if you know, or your mum's area or your nan's area. You know, don't do things like that. And that there just seems a bit, and you know, a bit like asking for a fight, you might be asking for clarification. You might just, you know, genuinely want clarification, and I get that. Just don't do it. Just I don't know. Just park polite, legal, and somewhere normal. Next question, Daz, how do you manage with having a large motorhome to get into stopovers and town centres? So I've done a few of the videos lately. One of my previous videos was me parking near Gatwick Airport. If you haven't seen that, then definitely it'll be up here or in the description below. Head on over to that one once this one's finished. I can find Parkups, no problem. I do get myself into some sticky situations in them videos because I go into dead ends and I have to reverse and turn around and all this and that. And some town centres I won't go into because they're going to be really tight. Now, that's obvious. I've got an 8.5 metre motorhome. It's a big lump. You know, it's not easy to manoeuvre in real tight spaces. That being said, it hasn't really stopped me going many places. I have got a bike on board, so I can just, you know, get the bike out and, you know, park away a little bit, then ride in. I will look at places. So if I'm going to stop at an Audi, like I stopped at an Audi on the way here today, I searched for the Audi closest to here, and then when I was on Google Maps, I clicked the like street view, so then it gave me a view, and it gave me like a view of the car park. Because if it was in a central town and it was just a couple of spaces, 10-15 spaces, then I wouldn't be able to fit in it. So I do things like that. I take precautions like that, and, you know, double check things like that. But other than that, it's really not that much of a problem. I do recommend you go look at the videos that I've done previously about finding Parkups. and how I get on. And if you are looking to, you know, do more wild camping and this and that, then you gotta get my book. Think wild camping's all about staying in lay-bys? Well, think again. It's about finding unique spots, whether it's a quiet street or a hidden gem in the countryside. Learn how to wild camp anywhere in How to Wild Camp in a Motorhome. Grab your copy today. Next question. How about a video? So I've got a few questions about your post, my address, hospital, doctor's appointments, and tax and things like that. I've done a video on post before. I'll drop that in the description below. But long and short of it is, you can pretty much make most things digital apart from your driving license and your insurance. They kind of want an address. So you kind of have to have a friend or a family member or someone you trust to be a care of address, use a care of address. And if you are going to do that, one word of warning is get them to open your mail as soon as they like they open their mail, because if you've got a parking ticket or a speeding ticket, which, you know, none of us want, but, you know, just in case, if they don't open it for 3 months and they just leave it on the side until you come back to their house, then you're going to get a lot of fines and the penalties are going to escalate, and no one wants that. So make sure you get them to make sure you use someone and ask someone that you trust to open your mail and then send you a picture or call you if anything's wrong. When it comes to doctors and everything like that, along with my mail, that any that I do get is registered at my mum's, and I'm still registered at my normal doctors. I am a type 2 diabetic. I still have regular appointments, so I go back to that doctor's. Medication wise, I go online. I'm registered online with Lloyd's Pharmacy, or Pharmacy to You now, I think it is. I think they've changed, I think they've merged. And then I get my medication sent to me. I can get it sent to my mum's house or another family member's house, or I can get it sent to a pharmacy around the country. So if I'm in Scotland, for instance, for 2-3 months, then I could get my repeat prescription sent up that way, no problem. When it comes to medical care and things like that, if you needed medical attention for anything, then you can temporarily register at doctors and like A&E you just walk in, but yeah, at doctors and places like that you can temporarily register. It's pretty much the same as if you was from Scotland or from Birmingham, because Scotland's a different country and they've got different systems. But if you was from Birmingham and you was down in Cornwall and you was on holiday for 3 weeks, and then you had a really bad illness for whatever, you had something wrong with you, you had to go to a doctor's, they wouldn't just tell you to go back to Birmingham, because that's not realistic. If you fell ill on day 2 of your holiday in Cornwall, then they'd let you temporarily register, and then you could then see and get medical attention and see a doctor and all this and that. So there is ways, and they do work, because I know plenty of people that have used them. There is a little bit of a difference when you from Wales to Scotland and to England, because I don't think they all talk to each other, like the NHS systems don't all talk to each other. I'm not 100% sure on that. This country is pretty good overall across all the country, to be able to get care. So it might take a little bit of paperwork filling out and a few forms and this, that and the other, but you can get it. Oh, windy. Next question. So this one I get this one quite a lot. Eventually your van will renewing, what's the plans for that? Well, I mean, I had my very first motorhome. I bought it kind of on a whim. I'd done a bit of research, but didn't know I was going to like Vanlife, didn't know if this lifestyle was going to work. Bought that and it worked for about 5.5 years. So that was pretty good. Now this one that I've in, which is a Bürstner Delphin, 8.5 metre, 5 tonne, beautiful motorhome. I love it. It's my bachelor pad on wheels. I put quite a lot of thought and research into this one. I plan to have this for 10 years. I'm on my 2nd year now, so 8 years more. It will still have value at the end of that. How much that can be argued until the cows come home, but there will still be some value there. And then from between now and then, I just have to save and put money away ready for the next one. If I get to 10 years, it doesn't mean like, but as soon as I hit 10 years, that's it, it's gone. if I get to 10 years and I don't need anything else and this one's still running fine, because it's only got just over 50,000 miles on the clock, as long as I look after it, service it regularly, maintain it, and you know, keep on top of things, there's no reason why it can't live longer than that. So if I get to 10 years and think, well, do I really need one? Have I got the money yet? Yes or no? Then I'll make that decision. I could, you know, be in it for 12 years, 14 years, I don't know. And then when I do get another one, it won't be a brand new one. I will be getting something, you know, a bit newer, but not brand new. So that's kind of my plans. Obviously everything can change, but you know, that's the plans. Next one is, hi Darren, regarding your dishwasher, do you wipe everything down prior to putting it in the dishwasher, or does all of it just go into your waste tank? So if I've got sauces, now any of you that have watched the channel for more than one video know I'm quite a saucy guy. I love my sauce, I love my mayo. If there's any left on the plate, I will wipe it with a piece of kitchen tissue and throw that in the bin. If there's quite a lot of grease, if I had something like a plate full of chicken wings or something, there's quite a lot of grease on the plate, then I might wipe that, but then put that in the bin. But other than that, I do not clean the plates, pre-wash them, pre-clean them, or anything like that. Just scraps of food go in the bin, big piles of sauce go on a tissue in the bin, but then everything goes in the dishwasher, and it absolutely comes out perfect. I love it. I am in love with that dishwasher. I really am. Next question is, how do you use 240 in your van when you're not plugged into a site? So my system has been rewired. So I've got an inverter within the motorhome. I've got a multi-plus inverter, so it's an inverter charger. And that has been wired in, so I can turn the inverter on and then all the plugs turn on live. So it is possible quite easily to do it. I say quite easily, I didn't do it. Bluefix done that, but yeah, it is possible to do that and get it wired in, so when you are on, you know, off grid, you can have your 240 working as well. You can also trick your system if you haven't got an inverter. If you've got a big power bank, like an EcoFlow or something, you can then plug that into the side of the motorhome, and then it thinks you're on shore power. But then you'd be governed to what you can run by the size of the inverter in the power bank. Bit detailed there, but that's pretty much how. Right, now I said I need your help. I am in the Peterborough, Grantham, Newark and Doncaster area for a while. I'm going to be flitting backwards and forwards, going to a few places, then coming back. For various reasons, all will be made clear later on, but I need recommendations of places in these areas. So, like I said, Peterborough, Grantham, Newark and Doncaster. If you've got any places that you recommend, be it campsites, fishing lakes, restaurants, park-ups, places to see like a museum, an RSPB, like the nature reserves, walks, trails, anything in them areas, then please do drop it in the comments or send me a message. I'm going to be traveling all around that area in between shows, and that all will be revealed later on, but there will be videos coming out of your recommendations when I'm on the road. And I think I'm going to do a regular Q&A maybe every month or so, because I'm getting a lot of questions and I do want to keep answering them as quickly and as easily as I can. So if you have got any questions, do drop them in the section below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy. Bye.